Introducing Aluna, an all-in-one student communication platform.
What actually makes it different?
Why can't teachers just use Google Classroom? It's free.
We can probably guarantee that every single student in all the classes that the teachers have will be on the platform.
Hello everyone, my name is Tiffany.
And my name's Liam.
We'd like to introduce Aluna to you, and to do so, you have to meet someone first. Say hello to anxiety, or as we like to call it, every teen student.
Students are always under loads of pressure, with strict deadlines, trouble understanding complex topics and explanations, and from that, tons of unanswered questions. No wonder these students are stressed.
What does this mean for the students? Well, studies show that 74% of students find homework stressful, with some students spending 3 times more than the healthy amount each night. It doesn't help that 72% of students are afraid to receive help.
But this is not the teacher's fault. Just like the students, teachers are also stressed out. Having a lot of class and curriculum planning, along with grading tests and homework, leaves way less time for these teachers to spend with their families. It's clear why they don't have time to help students with their questions.
What a mess. But what if we had a platform that can solve all these problems? Introducing Aluna, an all-in-one student communication platform that allows students to ask questions to your classmates quickly and comfortably. Our platform also saves teachers more time to get work done and to spend quality time with their family and friends.
So, our users land on a dashboard, which shows classes on the left and activity across all those classes on the right. Next, we have the Groups tab, showing you all the groups you are a part of. Clicking on our group, we can navigate to the Forum tab, which lets students collaborate under teacher-made topics. So why us? Because no other platform can do what we do. Aluna is a platform that promotes collaboration and active participation without the need for teachers to actively assign discussions, along with using the style of Q&A used by forum companies across the world. Our platform is also very efficient and clean, making it easier for students to collaborate while making students anonymous from each other to provide comfort and encourage asking questions.
The total market cap for our product comes down to around 85,000 global high schools and colleges, but we are prioritizing schools in the US, totaling to around 65,000. We want our product to reach 2% of the serviceable available market and focus on California, which totals to around 1.2 thousand schools. We're going to reach 10% of the California schools in the next 2 years, which amounts to 120. With an average of 80 teachers per school, our pricing plan covered later will target close to 10,000 teachers and around 100,000 free users. After California, we plan to expand to schools across the country and then across the globe.
Moving on to our team traction. Over the past week, our team has reached out to numerous teachers and managed to make a sale for a pre-order of our product before the next school year for $30. We are also in discussion with 13 teachers who have demonstrated interest in demoing and purchasing our product.
As for our business model, to help test our website, we invite teachers to create one class for free, which will make them fall in love with Aluna and help us partner with the schools they teach at. Beyond one class, we charge $35 per semester per teacher/school with options to accommodate trimester-long and quarter-long courses. The students will have free access to the website as long as they have a class to join with. In order for this business model to reality, you need a team that remains close to the students that we want to serve, and that team is us. We are all outstanding students, and we have a very balanced team and a good mix of personalities. Each member of our team complements each other in our unique strengths and weaknesses. This blend of experience, passion, and team synergy will lead us to be the best team to launch this product.
And what will our team do in the future? By contacting teachers and offering them demos, along with reaching out to school boards, we plan to partner with 5 schools and their teachers before 2025. And this is what that may look like, where we initially try to build our user base with teachers demoing on free plans while using the user base to market our product to those school boards. And this will result in 5 school customers by September 2025. Now, Aluna needs around $140,000 to keep running next year, and here's where that money will go to. Since our entire business is selling our website, we want our product to be the best. So around 40% of that will go to developing our web app. We also want to make sure that advertising and being known throughout the Golden State is very important. So we want to spend 30% of our budget on that. Finally, we want to leave 30% to operating costs and subscriptions that Aluna needs to run.
Thank you, and let's save students stress
and work teachers less.
So this talked a lot about the problem, but it didn't talk that much about the solution. To be honest, I don't know what your product does. Can you take 15 seconds to describe what you do?
Basically, it's a student communication platform that allows students to communicate with each other and help each other out instead of the teachers always answering the questions instead. And how it does that is through forums like you see with Quora and Reddit. So each student can ask the question, and then other students can answer the questions. And then there are different classes for each teacher. And how students join a class is by inputting a class code. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. So I guess what I would ask is, what actually makes it different? Because I mean, forums have existed for a very long time. The other thing that I'm curious about is, with education, this is one of the, again, like SMB, one of those categories with known problems, B to B to C being the known obvious problem. You're selling to teachers, but teachers don't necessarily care about some of these problems the students are having. Why not sell directly to students? This is something that doesn't require the teacher's input. You're actually focused on the peer-to-peer advice. Like, why not try to get the students in one class, just start a forum to help each other, and then they'll naturally want to use it in their other classes.
Wait. Back. Okay, so basically our main selling point and like sort of the why teachers should be involved in this platform is because our idea from the start was to have this sort of participation grade based on your activity on the platform. So students are more incentivized to use the platform. So that's why teacher input is required.
Yeah, that one doesn't make any sense to me because teachers are going to decide how to grade their class. They're not going to add a section because you're trying to sell that to them as part of their software. And besides, the main point is the learning, right? So I'm not saying necessarily teachers shouldn't be involved. What I'm saying is, as a business model decision, given that it is known to be hard to get teachers to do things and they don't have the purchasing power, the school has the purchasing power, why not just sell directly to students? They can do things on their own.
So here's the thing. If we sell to students individually, in order for this to work, is for the entire class to be able to communicate to each other. So every student in that classroom has to be able to have paid for and have access to Aluna. So if we sell to students individually, it can't guarantee that. And therefore, our platform may not work. And
That's true.
Yeah.
Like when I was in school, I formed study groups with portions of my class all the time, and I found it very helpful. Why do I need the whole class?
Okay, yeah. So if we sell to the schools or the teachers and we make access for the students free, we can probably guarantee that every single student in all the classes that the teachers have will be on the platform, which helps us with our another selling point that we have, which is making it quick for getting a response from the students. And also, our business model includes a class for free. So if we get a lot of teachers on this free plan where they can only do one class, which is probably not all the classes that they have, they can demo, they can give us feedback, but they can also help us market to the schools that they work at or the school boards. For example, private schools, they usually have their own school board. It's not a district, right? So if 5 teachers at that private school are using a product, then it's much easier to sell it to the school.
Yeah, I don't want to dominate this whole thing, but I do just want to ask a follow-up question here, which is, first of all, at the school board, I get that you can have 5 teachers who can come and do something, but again, they don't have the purchasing power. They have input to someone who has a purchasing power.
Yeah.
And the other question I have is you didn't answer my question. You said why it would be beneficial to have all the students in the class. I understand that. My question is, why do you need it? Because your job is to get started. So why make I'm just asking, am I correct? It's unnecessary. And what's the reason why or why not? But if you need to get started, why create this unnecessary burden of having to get like 30 people instead of having to just get 5 people? Or even better, one person who maybe influences 5 people and who can make their own decision with their parents' credit card, just ask them nicely. Parents love paying for studying things for their kids, as opposed to also a teacher who has to go to a board that probably meets like once a quarter. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Okay, so here's the thing. One of our pain points, one of our selling points is students have trouble when they have questions or complex topics and stuff like that. They have trouble getting a response quickly because the upload is strict deadlines. So like say they have the assignment due or they have a test coming up, a very important test. Just waiting for that response is going to make it very difficult for them to actually study for the test, right? Having all 30 students be in one class will help guarantee a faster and quicker response.
Okay. Do we have time for one final question?
EdTech is historically challenging due to low budgets. Why can't teachers just use Google Classroom? It's free.
Okay, so the main differentiator between Google Classroom and us is that Google Classroom, the teachers, it's first of all, there's a lack of a lot of the easy discussion that students need to incentivize asking questions and stuff like that. But it also requires teachers to put a lot of effort into doing assignments and making an effort to make students do stuff. Well, we want to offer a platform which ties into Mr. Zimmerman's previous question, where it's much more difficult to get students in a class, maybe without your friends, to all pay a single price for a product, because our main selling point is the fact that students in the same class taking the same subject have the same expertise on a topic, right? So back to your question, right? Google Classroom is one of our competitors, but we have a lot of features that make answering questions or asking questions very incentivized and easy and comfortable. For example, we want to implement an anonymous feature, which the teachers will see which students are answering and asking questions. But a lot of the difficulty with asking questions is looking bad in front of your peers. So we want that to be a key feature and to make asking questions comfortable and commonplace in these classrooms.
Yeah, and also I think the difference between Aluna and Google Classroom is our goals. Google Classroom is meant for teachers to assign tasks to students, not all about answering questions. Aluna is form-based and you can answer questions. So a lot of times they use Google Classroom. There's not really a feature at all where you can ask questions. It's just teachers assigning all the assignments, and that's about it.
Yeah, to add on to what my teammates are saying, we're students and have better perspective on what our users want. We also have better access to our users because we're surrounded by peers that match our target audience in our daily lives.
Cool.
So,
Thank you very much.
Sadok, do I have time for one comment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is just, more of a teaching moment. I have a lot of experience in education sector with nonprofits and also ed tech. And I just want to comment, and kind of reinforce what both Evan and Lauren were saying, right? Like you're going after, as your main customer, someone who has not a lot of purchasing power, very hard for them to actually influence the decisions, purchasing decisions at school and scale, and also doesn't have a lot of time and energy, right? Teachers overworked, stress, etc. So really just want to kind of challenge you to flip maybe the purchasing power or the burden onto the students themselves, versus going after teachers. And also, just maybe go and rethink your sales strategy to that degree, right? School, you wouldn't hop just from school, teachers directly to school boards.
I just want to add on to what Kristen said about just competitive research. Like one of the things on your slide was wrong. Canvas does have a Q&A. I know I used it in college. So one thing you might consider is when you do more research on these companies, one of the things you will find is that they don't expose every feature. They give the teacher the right to decide what they use in their classroom. And so if you think that Canvas doesn't have it because you aren't seeing it, maybe Google Classroom is the same way. And so you may consider that perhaps in high school, teachers who have the option to not do it or to do it are choosing not to make it available because they think it is bad for their students. But I'm not saying they're right, but I'm saying that if you're considering selling a product, you have to consider what does the person you're selling to think. And so I don't know what the answer is. In college, I can tell you they all loved using it, but maybe in high school, teachers feel differently, and you need to have an answer to that question.
Could I make one final comment, or is time's up?
No, we're out of time. Thank you very much, Aluna. Let's welcome the next team.